What is up, people? Welcome to another episode of this podcast, son. Today is July 8th, a beautiful Wednesday. Definitely a beautiful Wednesday. It's been a beautiful week. It's about to be a beautiful 12 years. If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. If you don't know why somebody it would be happy if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, bro, where you been? You've been under the rock. I could definitely tell you've been under the rock because you don't know that Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year football contract for $503 million. Come on, bro. Come on. $63 million guaranteed initially. Guaranteed on the first year of signing, I believe. This is a $503 million contract. Now, not all of that is guaranteed. That's with incentives piled up, and I'm sure there's plenty of incentives, plenty of Super Bowl incentives for this guy to take this team where it's got to be, for this guy to take this team where I think he can take it. I have a lot of faith in Patrick Mahomes, and obviously the Kansas City Chiefs, I think I said Kansas City. They're not shitty. They got Patrick Mahomes on that squad. The Kansas City Chiefs believe in Patrick Mahomes too. They believe him $503 million worth. Now that's crazy. That's crazy money. But listen, man, the guy deserves it. Patrick Mahomes deserves this deal, and nobody can argue against that. Listen, man, if you're a Chiefs fan, have you seen this contract? I know you have. I know if you're a Chiefs fan, you've seen this contract, you've seen the details that are in there, and you've seen that it's a very team-friendly contract. Incredibly. First off, when you think about the contract in general, 10 years, $503 million, you get a lot of people like, I believe it was Mike Florio. Mike Florio is one of those pundits out there that's been talking about how they don't like the contract, I believe. I honestly could be getting that completely wrong. If I am, I apologize, Mike Florio. You're not going to hear this ever, but I could be getting it wrong. I do, though, believe that Mike Florio, he's not the only one. He's just the name that I got in my head right now. Mike Florio, among some other people, have been coming out against this contract. Not fully, I don't believe. I think they obviously see some good things in the contract. $503 million. But basically, their argument's it's a very logical argument. When I first saw the contract, I thought of this too. $503 million for 10 years. If he were to ride it out on shorter contracts, he would no doubt make way more money, contract-wise. Now, why is this way better? Why is this $503 million over 10 years way better than if he were to play around like, let's say, Dak Prescott, who's just doing what he can to eke out every cent? Now, it's not a one-to-one comparison because nobody's given Dak Prescott a 10-year contract extension, as of right now at least. He hasn't shown it yet. Dak Prescott has had a team around him of ballers for a few years now, and a stout offensive line, and he hasn't been able to show the production of someone like Patrick Mahomes. And you know that comes down to a lot of limitations. Patrick Mahomes is one of the most naturally gifted passers you will ever see. Period. This could be the golden age of quarterbacking for all we know. Patrick Mahomes, and not even because Patrick Mahomes isn't even in his prime. No, homeboy is young. That's a young man over there making $503 million. That's pretty crazy. But that's the world of football, and that's the world of being a star quarterback. That's the world of winning a damn Super Bowl on your rookie contract. What's his face on the Rams? Almost did it. Not Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley isn't even on the Rams anymore. They released him because of his injury. They didn't want to deal with him no more. He couldn't handle the load anymore. So they had to release Todd Gurley. I'm talking about Jared Goff. Jared Goff on the rookie contract made it to the Super Bowl. Was throwing ducks all over the field because when that man stepped on the field, he looked like a deer in the headlights. It was the second I saw that, it was a little scary. I knew something was going to go down. I think a lot of people knew what was going to go down. The second that the Rams beat the Saints, I believe, in that championship game, I believe that's when they got eliminated. And with the controversial no call there, the one that really sparked up talk in the league, and everybody was talking about the league. I knew. I didn't know. Obviously, I'm not the damn Messiah, but I'm not gonna bet on the young quarterback versus the been there, done that Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Patriots. I'm never gonna bet against that, against the Patriots when it comes to a young QB. Now, they got stomped on by Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson's not just a young QB. He turns it's like he turns his Xbox on before he heads into every game, and he just starts playing Madden on these fools. And that's just the explosiveness. You can't hunker that man down. At least not yet. Nobody has the answers for that. But I was not going to take Jared Goff over Tom Brady. You crazy? And I think that was exemplified. That was shown. That was shown during that Super Bowl why you're not going to take him over that. Jared Goff was throwing ducks. He had a touchdown that he just let be in the air for way too long, and that gave the defender the chance to come over and swat it out. I'm not exactly sure. It might have been Gilmore. I think it was Gilmore. I could be wrong on that, but it was definitely DB, obviously, and they blocked that touchdown. What an amazing play! That was a play of the Super Bowl. A lot of people like to say it was the Rob Gronkowski catch down the seam, but no, it was that play where he saved the touchdown. You know, the defense wins championships, and that really showed it right there when I believe it was Gilmore. I could be wrong on that. Stopped that touchdown from happening when Jared Goff was throwing those ducks. Sucks for Jared Goff, means he's not getting no 10-year contract. On top of that, even if he did win the Super Bowl, now he came back and he got a busting contract. I don't have the details ahead of me right now in front of me, but Jared Goff, I do know, got a busting contract after that year, and we're starting to see the what's come from that. We're starting to see how giving your quarterback that much money, that much percentage of the cap space, really hinders the team. And for a team like the Los Angeles Rams that built their Super Bowl going team, at least, they really built that team with they were the pioneers of the model in the new age of having the quarterback on the rookie contract, talented quarterback, where you can just throw money at the rest of the team and push it right on through and try to get to a Super Bowl that way. And it worked. It worked, but not for long. They had to start dismantling that offensive line that really brought them success, that really helped out Todd Gurley to begin with. They couldn't keep Todd Gurley, but that was more of an injury issue. They had already paid him. But Todd Gurley's another example of the Rams being willy-nilly with their money and it biting them right in the ass. That's exactly what happened to Todd Gurley. He gets injured, and they're still liable. They got a lot of money guaranteed wrapped up in that man. And he obviously couldn't produce and work for that contract. And this ties it all back. These little contract details, not being able to keep players, ties it all back to the Kansas City Chiefs and their Patrick Mahomes deal. This is a very, very team-friendly deal, and that's awesome. That's awesome for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're a fan, I know you're happy. This is a great deal. You have possibly the greatest quarterback of all time, at least when you look at the potential, the skill set, the success he's already had. He even before the Super Bowl, he was sniffing it last year or the year before last year. He went up against Tom Brady in the championship game. And he comes right on back and beats the Super Bowl. Not only does he win in the Super Bowl, but did you see there was a tweet put out by DeAndre Hopkins, who's now in the Arizona Cardinals. He used to be on the Houston Texans, and he put out a tweet that really criticized his former team. Something along the lines of, I got 24 reasons why Patrick Mahomes deserves that deal. And if you don't know what that's in reference to when in the playoffs, the Houston Texans were up on, I believe in the second or third quarter, They were over the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of points, 24-0. 24-0. Patrick Mahomes brings it right on back, just like that man was born to do. Honestly, you can all see it. That man was born to do this stuff. That's why he's getting paid $503 million to do this stuff. He really put it out there. He put it out there. These playoffs. That was not the only. If I'm sure you know, but obviously that was not the only comeback story of the playoffs of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure the next game they had was the Titans, and the Titans once again was able to create some kind of deficit. Once again, Patrick Mahomes just mops the floor with them boys and deletes that deficit and puts the Kansas City Chiefs back on top. Consistently, Patrick Mahomes has done this. Obviously, it has a lot to do with the talent around him. But that's the thing with this contract. It's going to allow the Kansas City Chiefs some leeway to be able to put some more talent around him, to be able to keep some talent around him, mainly Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill means a lot when it comes to Andy Reid's scheme. Andy Reid has plays that he will put out there with Tyreek Hill, and the league has seen it before time and time again, but it still works because you can't beat Tyreek Hill. Defensive backs are scared of speed. Bro, you get embarrassed when you get burned like that. And the defensive backs on national television know that. And when they got to line up against Tyreek Hill, boy, that's one hell of a day. That's one hell of a night before the game. That can't be a happy camper when he's got to stroll in there and line up across possibly the fastest player in the league in Tyreek Hill. And he's very valuable to the Kansas City Chiefs and how Andy Reid runs this team. Way more valuable, if you ask me, than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce leads to a lot of mismatches because they're going to obviously, on some plays, double Travis Kelce because we all know what kind of product he has on the field. And then on other plays, they're going to double Tyreek Hill because most plays they're going to double Tyreek Hill. And it makes your offense more versatile, but at the end of the day, I think we can all see it that they're not going to be able to hold both of them at the same time. And I think Tyreek Hill is too valuable to that Kansas City offense for them to let him go like that. And I definitely don't see it happening. But come on, man. Kansas City Chiefs fans, fucking hoorah, bros. You really did it. You really got the guy. You're holding him down already. Before no drama. He wins a Super Bowl, you sign a contract. That's how it works. That's how it should work in this league. When you can show that you can consistently be there, when you don't really have an injury history, when you've done it over and over again, when not only did he beat a deficit in the Houston game, he then beats a deficit in the Titans game, and then in the Super Bowl, he beats another deficit. He mops the floor with the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people aren't taking advantage of the chances that Patrick Mahomes gives you. Now, I'd have to rewatch the Super Bowl to see what really went down. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it, honestly, because we all know that front seven on that defense for the 49ers. Bustin' defense. And they were collapsing. Any chance they could get, they would collapse that line. But, I'd have to rewatch that Super Bowl because actually now I'm kind of fascinated to see how Patrick Mahomes played that. Obviously I saw it already, but I want to see it again with a more analytical view and be able to see what he was able to do in that Super Bowl. Maybe I could make a little segment about why I think he won if it was the San Francisco 49ers' fault, or if it was just them meeting an unstoppable force in Patrick Mahomes. That might be an interesting concept to do. I'll definitely see if I can do something with that. I'd have to get my hands on some film, but let's talk about this contract and some of the unique things about this contract that Patrick Mahomes has been able to do in this deal with Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes clearly wants to have a team-friendly deal. When you look at the little bits of information about this deal, you begin to see that. One of the very unique things about this deal the contract that Patrick Mahomes has signed, the $503 million contract. One of the very unique things about this deal. There's not a lot of cash up front in the bonus. Now, why would they do that? One of the reasons why they would do that would be if the Kansas City Chiefs needed to do some shuffling of the money to try to save one of these great players that they have, from this plethora of, they're growing great players on trees over there. They got great drafting over there. They really, a lot of their memo is to draft off of speed, and it's worked for them. It's really worked for them. That, like I said, Tyreek Hill can just, while I'm watching the Chiefs last year, I just go, listen, man, at one point, at least once in this game, Tyreek Hill is going to break out, and he's going to give you 70, 80 yards. That's just how it goes. The run after the catch is there. The speed to break away from your defenders is most definitely there. And that's the kind of production you're gonna see out of Tyreek Hill. And he's got a spot. Homeboy's got a spot. But let's say they needed to wiggle around for some more. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can wiggle something around and try to get Travis Kelce on there as well. One of the things that they can do, because they don't have a lot up front in the signing bonus, is they could convert the other money, a portion of his yearly salary. They could take that and convert it to the signing bonus. Now, from my understanding, the signing bonus does not go against the cap, the team's cap space. So being able to do some financial maneuverings like this is very advantageous for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it just goes to show you the lengths that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs went to get a team-friendly deal done. Patrick Mahomes understands that if he were to get shorter-term deals done, he would be making way more money when it comes to these contracts. He would be making boatloads upon boatloads of money all the time. He would not have a beautiful team every time. He would have some gimpy-ass teams every now and then because of this money that he's not allowing his team to use. Now, I think Patrick Mahomes is a smart boy. He's got a lot of sponsors, and he's got to play to back the sponsors. Now, if Patrick Mahomes, I truly believe that he knows this. If Patrick Mahomes can stay relevant on a good team and continue to win Super Bowls like I and many people believe he will, Patrick Mahomes has way more Super Bowls than him. Way more Super Bowls. In this new quarterback era, with one of the best quarterbacks, raw talent, the way that he sees the field, all this stuff piled up, with one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, he's gonna at least reach more Super Bowls. We all know that. And Patrick Mahomes knows that this is potentially worth way more than what he could be making if he was straddling his team and he was doing these shorter term deals where he was able to squeeze out more money. He knows that if he can really put himself on the top of the world consistently, that's wealth. That's wealth you can't even really fathom, really. $503 million is hard to fathom. This guy knows that if he can stay relevant, if he can be one of the all-time greats like it looks like he's on his way to being, he's going to make way more money with other business dealings than he could if he was doing those contracts. And it comes down to winning. When people look back at history, they want to see winning. They're not going to see, oh, he was great, but only if he had an O-line, he would have had a Super Bowl. Oh, he was great, but they didn't give him any receivers. That's why he couldn't break that ceiling. He couldn't make it to the Super Bowl. He couldn't win a Super Bowl. Nobody cares about losers. Nobody cares about anybody without numbers. Patrick Mahomes sees this. He knows this. This is why he's choosing the deal that he's choosing, and this is why he's going to win in the end. He's going to win more Super Bowls. He's going to win financially. He's going to have way more money than me or you, unless you're some billionaire listening to this right now, which I highly doubt. This man is going to change. He's going to change the future for a lot of people around him. He's going to definitely change his future than if he, let's say, would have played baseball like his good old pops there. And by the way, His dad made only $2 million. $2 million. Now, $2 million is a lot of money. $2 million is definitely a lot of money. Even in today's standards, $2 million is a lot of money. And his pops was playing way back when. But $2 million, $2 million is not $503 million. And I think we can all acknowledge that. It's great to see the progression of the money in sports, because it gets these players that really work really hard at it, and it gets them some reward for that. It gives them a lot of reward for that. Now, I would argue that there's a lot of reward to begin with. If you're a great player, you probably love the game. You probably really love the game, and you really enjoy doing that as your job. But on top of that, it's awesome that they're being recognized for what they're doing, that they're getting real generation-changing money. This, Patrick Mahomes, his family is set. Like his family's got to be set forever. As long as you don't, whenever the government collapses, whatever, you never know what's going on. So sometimes money just don't cut it. But as long as they continue to be smart with their money, which after having all this damn money, I wouldn't doubt that Patrick Mahomes is going to make sure that everybody around him, his children, any future generation is going to be, and I no doubt Patrick Mahomes is educated on money, but he's going to make sure everybody's educated on money. He's going to make sure this thing lasts, because this changes a family, and this has changed Patrick Mahomes' family. Even though they were already a wealthy family with $2 million, I don't know how far his dad was able to make that stretch, but I know that $2 million is $2 million, and he probably, Patrick Mahomes and his family no doubt benefited from that. But this is different. This is real power in today's world anyway. Patrick Mahomes deserves it. And he's doing a team-friendly deal. It looks awesome across the board for football in the next 12 years, because he's still got 2 years on his rookie contract. This only comes into effect after those 2 years are up. He's up there for the next 12 years. He's on the Kansas City Chiefs. They got him locked down. And with the way that things are going right now, quarterbacks playing into their 40s, man, he's going to be a Kansas City Chief for a long time. That is if they can keep their name. You never know now these days. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to have to change it at some point. Just like the Redskins, you never know. But great for you Kansas City Chiefs fans. Now, a question I had when I was going through this video, when I was running through it, these ideas and what I wanted to talk about, when I started to think about, the potential of Patrick Mahomes, how he could be the GOAT, how he looks like he's going to be the damn GOAT, I had a little question come across my mind. As of right now, Tom Brady's the undisputed GOAT. And I could definitely say that. Even as a Jets fan, I could say that. No doubt. Why can I say that? I think that's pretty obvious. The man has 6 Super Bowl rings. 6 rings. Winning is what matters at the end of the day. This is why Jamal Adams wants to be out of the Jets and all this. Winning is what matters. And Tom Brady's got 6 Super Bowl rings. That is not an easy feat. We all knew, Everybody that watches football obviously knows that is not an easy feat. The Patriots dynasty was out of this world. So when I'm thinking about Patrick Mahomes and his possible legacy come 20 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, what could that be? And the main question I have is, does Patrick Mahomes need 6 rings plus in order to be considered the GOAT? Can he surpass Tom Brady in that conversation without those rings? My take on that, I'm going to say no. And I think it comes down to the fact that when you look back in history, when you look at the greats, like I was saying earlier, nobody cares about the quarterback. He never had an offensive line. No receivers. The trash offensive coordinator his whole career. Nobody cares about that. Nobody's going to care in the grand scheme of things when it comes down to history about Patrick Mahomes if he wins 2 to 3. 2 to 3. No, I mean, that's a little much to say. Obviously, they're going to care. Obviously, people like me are going to care. People like me are going to be like, damn. Do you remember when Patrick Mahomes was 20-something, lighting up the league? What a day to live. This is a great time in football. But at the end of the day, winning is what matters. People like Tom Brady understand this. When you look at the interviews that he was having this offseason, you see things like these statements that he was saying, where he was saying, you had Aaron Rodgers out there talking about how he wanted to stay with the Green Bay Packers for the rest of his career. He wanted to retire a Green Bay Packer. And Aaron Rodgers was in interviews saying that he believes, or not that he believes, in his heart of hearts, legacy is everything. He felt like he wanted to be there. He wanted to be that guy. Finally, the Green Bay Packers kept a QB because he was so great, because they saw where he could take them, the type of leader that he was, and that's what he wanted. Tom Brady came with a knife to the gut at homeboy Aaron Rodgers. He had an interview this year after leaving the Patriots. I believe it was after he signed with the Buccaneers. I could be wrong. Could be wrong on that. But he had an interview where he was talking about how legacy, I think his exact words might have been, legacy doesn't mean shit. It don't mean shit to the homeboy. You know why? Because he understands what really matters. What really matters is winning. Tom Brady wants to win, and he wants to go down in history as the winningest quarterback of all time. And he's going down in history as the winningest quarterback of all time as of right now. And he's still got 2 years on his contract with the Buccaneers, and I definitely believe that he's not just somebody you can brush off. You can't just brush off the GOAT. His decision-making is on point. And that really, when it comes to football, when it comes to the X's and O's, man, you got an offensive coordinator on the field that's got a decent arm on him. That's got a serviceable NFL arm. He's still there. On the longer throws, it can get a little wanky, a little wonky with homeboy. But you still see Tom Brady throwing some good throws, and I think he's gonna shock some of these people that are saying that Tom Brady ain't gonna do nothing this year in the league. I believe that, and I also believe, like I said, Patrick Mahomes, you got to win more than Tom Brady if you want to go down as the GOAT. Otherwise, Tom Brady's going to go down as the GOAT, and he will go down forever until somebody breaks it, because nobody could produce what the Patriots were producing. It was a time in history that we'll never get back, and we all just got to be glad that we were a part of, even as Jets fans. It's football history. We been there. It's in the past. And all I can say for that time was, it was out of this world. It was out of this world, and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs need to win more than 6, or at least 6, to be considered the GOAT, because he's got the potential, and we all know it. And they got a great contract to try to get them there. That's what I got to say in the Patrick Mahomes situation. Now I wanted to move on to Cam Newton. Cam Newton. I haven't said anything about this yet. I haven't had an episode out in a while, and that's kind of laziness on my part. I'm going to try my best to start getting myself on the schedule, really get this thing all nice and neat. I'm hoping to move on to a video podcast sometime soon. I have to see how that equipment works out, see how it all goes, get the studio. I don't got a studio, but get the space set up right. But I have not made an episode since the Patriots have signed Cameron Newton. Cam Newton, former NFL MVP. Two-time? Maybe two-time. I don't know for sure. Cam Newton is on the New England Patriots. And not only is he on the New England Patriots, but he's on the New England Patriots on a dirt cheap deal. Now that's the Patriot way, son. They waited. They waited out everybody else. Maybe the Patriots had some kind of information where they were thinking, oh, nobody's going to pick him up. Maybe they looked back and took the chance, thinking that, like we saw, nobody was willing to sign Cam Newton, because if you brought him in and you had a promising quarterback, which is a good problem that a lot of teams in the NFL right now have. We have such an abundance of QB talent and rookie QBs on rookie contracts, where teams are willing to take some time with them and see how they develop where they don't want to bring in a Cam Newton because they're going to have a quarterback controversy. Maybe the Patriots looked back at this situation and said, oh, maybe if we waited this out, maybe we can get him for damn pennies to the dollar, and that's what they got him for. What's the contract details? Let me bring up the contract details real quick. Kind of mad that I didn't have this before I started the episode, but this is where we are. Unprofessionalism. It's a beautiful show. I hope you're enjoying it. Cam Newton. Quarterback Cam Newton reported a contract with the Patriots is a bargain. On Sunday, Newton agreed to a one-year deal with a base of $1.05 million. The minimum salary for the player with his experience, with his amount of experience, 9 years in the league. Just $550,000 of that money is guaranteed money. The other money is most likely strapped up in incentives and things like that. I'm sure there's tons. It's tons and tons of incentives for this guy. They want to win. We all know this. The Patriots are not going to bow down and try to get one of these first round draft picks. They want to win. That's been their MO for the entirety of Bill Belichick's career as the general manager, as the coach of the New England Patriots. That's how they go. They're never going to bow down to the rest of the league trying to get a high draft pick. Some people will, some teams will, or some front offices. I don't believe that players, coaches, not all players and coaches, not all of them will do this. Not all of them. I think the vast majority of players and coaches want to win. Every time they step on that field, they're going to do what they can to win. Some of them are lazy. Some of them are just pick up their check. There to pick up a check. The average career in the league is 3 years, I think. So not everyone really loves the game like that. They just kind of want to pick up the check, go home, do a serviceable job when they're on the field. Nothing wrong with that, unless you're on the Jets. You better kick your ass into high gear if you're on the Jets, but that's not it's the Patriots here, man. They got the deal that they needed. They got the deal that they wanted. They always get what they wanted. The Patriots always get what they want. Tom Brady goes out the door. Oh, look, who's that coming through the door? And the light's shining through the door. There's a man walking through. Oh, that's MVP caliber quarterback Cam Newton. What's up? How's your shoulder, bro? Oh, what's that? Cam Newton reports come out today. Cam Newton passed his physical, signed the deals. Everything's done. He's ready to play football again. You ready to play football again, Cam? Well, let's fucking go. We're the New England Patriots, the most winning organization in football. It's a marriage made in heaven, and I truly believe that. Now, one of the things that I can say about what's going on with Cam Newton and the Patriots, there's a definite conflict when it comes to Cam Newton, his playing style, and the New England Patriots roster. The New England Patriots don't have the best roster offensive-wise. Now, if you go to a past episode of mine where I was talking about the Patriots, it might have even been the first episode where I went over the AFC East, that landscape, what could possibly be going down. And I talked about the Patriots, and I said that you can't underestimate them. There's been a lot of sentiment coming out from a lot of the sports pundits in the world, everybody that's talking about this stuff, exclaiming things, exclaiming this, exclaiming that. And a lot of them were saying that, oh, the Patriots, it's over for them for this year. They're just going to ride through it, try to get a early first round pick. And, obviously I don't feel that. I don't feel that for one damn second that they're trying to do that. But all these people are trying to claim this, that, they're just going to ride it out. And I think in my first episode, I brought up the fact that, bro, that offense was not top tier last year as well. They almost had a record-breaking defense and went undefeated for a good portion of last year. Did we all forget that? Did we all forget that? And did we all forget that it was not off of Tom Brady? Maybe you can make the argument that it was off of Tom Brady because of the lack of their offensive talent. Tom Brady really had to show out and make perfect decisions every game for them to squeak out of there with the win. They weren't winning every game with a considerable margin. They had their games because the teams they were playing against were so abysmal. That Jets game was really really backbreaking for the New York Jets and Sam Darnold. The seeing ghosts game. and they had their fair share of and also I believe their numbers were inflated in that. I could definitely say that. But the numbers, they lie and they don't lie. They lie in terms of this. They were set to be a record-breaking team, but they were also facing a Sam Darnold in one of his lowest points with a trash coordinator, with a trash offensive line, seeing ghosts, just handing out picks, handing them out on a silver platter for the New England Patriots defense to catch right on up, to slurp right on up. And before that, who do they have? They had to face David Fales. I'm sure they had their fair share of picks. I don't know the stats off of that game. They've had their fair share of picks in that game. I definitely believe that. When I was looking at that time, and I was looking, everybody's talking about the record-breaking team. Listen, man, they had trash teams that they had to go up against. Let's not forget that they were in the AFC East with the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. And hold on, and the Bills. Come on. What's his name? Damn. Josh Allen. There you go. Josh Allen. He didn't have his best games against the Patriots, and I think it's because he was growing. You really saw that in the playoff games. His decision making was here, it was there. He wasn't really, he wasn't making the commitments he should have been making from play to play. He wasn't throwing the ball down to the ground when he should have, and that'll come with time. And he definitely had his mistakes when he faced against the Patriots. So when you go over that nearly record-breaking year, you have to bring that up. They were playing in the AFC East, and the AFC East did not have a beautiful stack of talent for them to go up against. That does not, when I said the numbers lie and they don't, this is what I'm referring to. You still had unbelievable tip drill. You saw the tip drills really, really come to fruition and really come together in those Patriots games. Stephon Gilmore and his band of misfits over there, they're not misfits. They got some damn twins over there. Maybe it is the Misfits Island. They got a whole bunch of different stuff over there on the Patriots side, but they do that drill. They do that drill, man. We could no doubt see that the New England Patriots do that drill, and you saw that come to fruition during the games. Every time they had that opportunity, they seemed trained and ready. And they seem like, people like Stephon Gilmore really have a knack for picking these things up. When I look at elite players, truly elite players, I think, some of it has to do with luck, but I think that luck is, it's the energy that you invite when you work really hard and you fine-tune your muscles to have this fast-twitching, react like this, react like that. And, you're going to be put into good situations when you really work at it. And it's, you're not going to underestimate them coming into this year. But they're going to have to carry a lot. When I was saying that Cam Newton's his style doesn't mesh with the Patriots offense right now, I'm saying that because of things like the fact that they don't have a real deep threat for him to throw to. What does Cam Newton have? A beautiful arm when throwing down the ball down the field. He's got that. He's a talent. Cam Newton is an undisputed talent. But on top of that, on top of not having that deep threat, Cam Newton also going to the Patriots does not have. Now, they have some good pieces on that offensive line, but they do not have a stacked offensive line. And Cam Newton, already being injured, who knows how vulnerable he is to another injury, and he's hopping onto a team that doesn't have the best situation when it comes to the offensive line. On top of not having the best lineup, one of the best offensive line coaches ever, Dante Scarnecchia, just retired this year. So on top of having that terrible line, not terrible. It's not terrible. They got people like Joe Thuney on there who they franchise tag just so I believe just so that the Jets wouldn't get him. Anybody in the AFC East wouldn't get him. No, they got some talent on that line, but it's not top notch. It's not top of the league. Cam Newton's gonna have to face up against that. But it all comes down to the fact that this is the New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots have their hands on a MVP caliber player. They're going to utilize him. You're going to see things like when you least expect it, Cam Newton's going to take off and run with that ball. And whenever he does that, he's going to pick up great amounts of yardage. And what is that going to do? That's going to make the defense have to play honest all the time. And maybe making the defense play honest is going to make it so that you can get one of these wide receivers who isn't really built for that kind of speed, who hasn't really shown that they can be that consistent deep threat. Maybe you're going to get some of them break off because the defense is not planning for that deep threat. They're planning for Cam Newton running on this third down and short, you know? Maybe that's what they're planning on, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it throughout the year. They're gonna start Cam Newton at least for some of the year. You know, if he doesn't start for the whole year, I think he really has to let us all down. You know, let the Patriots down, let Bill Belichick down. He has to have. If he's not going to play all year, he's probably going to have at least average play, because from what we all hear coming out of the league, and most likely Adam Gase texting a reporter. There's reports that a AFC East head coach was texting a reporter and saying that he's not too worried about them starting Cam Newton because he believes that the New England Patriots love Jarrett Stidham. And this is not the only time that we've seen it. It has not just come from our buffoon head coach of the New York Jets. It's come from a lot of people in the media. They're coming out and saying, hey, man, the New England Patriots really love Jarrett Stidham, and the New England Patriots understand the value of young talent. And if Cam Newton's not lighting it up, or, you know, putting above average QB stats and really taking them to the trajectory of a playoff caliber team, which this is a playoff caliber team. This is a playoff caliber defense. You know, the offense needs work, but this is no doubt a playoff caliber defense. Can this offense put it together? That comes down to Cam Newton. And then after that, if Cam Newton doesn't deliver, it's going to be Jarrett Stidham. And there's a clear path there. Jarrett Stidham is loved by all the boys over there. They're gonna prop the homeboy up if they want to, but it's gonna be an uphill battle for Cam Newton, no doubt about that. But you know, it also comes down to what kind of Cam Newton are we getting in 2020? Is it going to be a more restrained, in the pocket, make the best decisions because you're a veteran quarterback with 9 years of experience? You know, is he going to be that kind of quarterback who kind of sits back, surveys the field, makes the throw? I'm sure that's what the Patriots are going to want from him. Maybe he's going to have to adapt his style to that, and that's where you go. Maybe he's only an average quarterback when he does something like that, and they're going to say, hey, okay, let's put in Jarrett Stidham. This test didn't work out. We're going to go with Jarrett Stidham. Maybe they say that. Maybe Cam Newton lights up the league. You know, it all comes down to what kind of Cam Newton we're going to get in 2020. Really, we haven't seen him in a long time. And when we last saw him, you know, his injury was really hindering what he was doing. He just got cleared medically today, but you never know with these things, with these injuries, especially a shoulder injury, and I believe his throwing arm. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's in his throwing arm. It's going to be a hard thing to overcome, and it's going to be hard for me to definitively say he's not going to see the effects of that ever again. You know, I'm no doctor, but that's just the way the NFL goes. It's a rough and tumble league, and if you got a fragile arm, it's gonna go out. It's gonna go out at some point. We've seen the same thing with like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it was his arm. I believe he was dealing with some kind of leg injury, but he kept having some. Recently, he was having a little bit of injury issues, and it's been affecting his play. I heard this argument from a Green Bay Packers fan recently. A guy that I work with, really cool guy. We were having a conversation. He was saying that Aaron Rodgers, a lot of people have been writing him off recently, but he's been attributing that. He was like, oh, if you know Green Bay football, if you really watch it, you understand that he's not been playing up to par. And he, along with a lot of Green Bay Packers fans, have been attributing that to his injuries, because no doubt Aaron Rodgers has had to restrain his play due to his injury. I think we saw that last year, and as he gets better and better, the guy brought him to the championship game. He faltered in the championship game. I think you can say that. I mean, on top of that, you can also say the fact that he doesn't really have a lot of weapons, this and that, but still. They should have put up a way better, the Green Bay Packers, that is, and Aaron Rodgers, should have put up a way better performance than they did in that championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. Come on, man. And listen, that's a serviceable quarterback. The Green Bay Packers might not think that for the immediate future, at least. You know, drafting Jordan Love. They might not think that, but that's a more than serviceable quarterback. That guy knows what he's doing, and he's got talent. He's got real arm talent, and it came down to injury, really. When you ask a lot of these fans, that's what they say. That's what people who watch Green Bay football say. The injuries have been hindering him. How hindered is Cam Newton? That's the real question. What kind of Cam Newton are the Patriots, our NFL fans, what are we going to get come 2020? We don't know. That's an answer we got to get. What kind of offense will the Patriots roll out in with Cam Newton? Will they start having weird two quarterback sets? I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for 1 second that who are we looking at? McDaniels? The offensive coordinator. I'm blanking out on the name right now, but I don't doubt that this innovative mind is gonna find a way to do a 2-quarterback set or something. I don't know, but listen, man, they're gonna make some kind of game plan. This is the team that changes up their game plan for every single team they go up against because they understand that that's how you win at this game. That's how you stay fresh and keep the defense and the offense on their toes. And they're gonna put together a game plan for our boy here, Cam Newton. They're gonna incorporate his runs, they're gonna incorporate his big arm, and they're gonna incorporate trick plays to be able to open up these big arm plays. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. We've seen it before with Tom Brady. We're gonna see it again with Cam Newton. The New England Patriots got a real talent on their hands. They just got to utilize the man. They got that adaptive offense. They're gonna do something, and we're gonna see it. They're gonna see it. And like I said, it's gonna come down to what kind of Cam Newton we get in 2020. But you're gonna see the New England Patriots squeeze out every ounce of power that they can get out of whatever quarterback 2020 Cam Newton is. And that's my take on that as a New York Jets fan. I'm scared. I'm scared. No doubt. I'm scared of Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a beautiful football player. He knows what he's doing on that field, and he's got the talent to take it above and beyond. That's an MVP caliber. He was a Super Bowl contender. That guy. He was up there. He was in the Super Bowl. Now, you could talk about his play there. You could talk about him not going after that ball when it was stripped or fumbled. But he made it to the Super Bowl, and that wasn't off, You saw them. If you were watching football around that time, you saw the wrecking ball that is Cam Newton and how he brought it through the league. And we're going to see some version of that on the Patriots. How long-lived that is up to Cam Newton. It's up to the production that he could put on the field. If Cam Newton does not go above, what you would call an average quarterback, he needs to put up above-average quarterback performances to not be changed out for Jarrett Stidham because they love him over there, and the Patriots are not scared to move on. Speaking of moving on, I wanted to talk about some awesome news that has come out today. If you watch football news on YouTube, I mean, this is gonna be on YouTube, so you watch football news on YouTube, I would assume. You know about Pat McAfee and that awesome show he's put together, that great product. I'm very inspired by Pat McAfee and what he does over there. I think it's a great show. I love the camaraderie he's got going on there. It's a great team Pat McAfee has put together over there at the Pat McAfee show. It's very inspiring to me. I look at his show and I see a great product that he's putting out there. I see a hustle and work ethic that he really puts together. And work ethic pays off. It pays off in the end. If you put the work in, you're gonna you can speak things into existence, man. And speaking things into existence really comes back at your brain. It's the psychological thing. It makes you go, damn, I really gotta get to it. I really gotta start doing this thing. Just like me with this podcast, just like you with whatever you want to get done. You can speak things into existence. Pat McAfee and the Pat McAfee show recently signed a deal with FanDuel, the sports betting site. And it's a lucrative deal, man. Now it's not an NFL contract, so we do not have information on the numbers that Pat McAfee was able to squeeze out of the FanDuel deal, out of that CEO, out of their pockets. We do not know the numbers that they were able to squeeze out, but man, Pat McAfee, he put out a video this morning of him giving $50,000 in cash to his team that no doubt deserves it. That was a very inspiring video for me to wake up to. You know, these days as I'm going through my day, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking about this show. I'm thinking about the future shows that I have in mind. I have full faith in what I'm doing right now. I love this. I love this. It's such a liberating feeling, man, to have something you look forward to doing. It's unexplainable. It's really unexplainable. If you're sitting down at a fucking office right now and you're working your ass off for some shit you don't want to do, first off, that doesn't mean leave your job. That doesn't mean leave your job. If something that you want to do is something like this, something on the side that you can really build while having a steady income, do it. That's what I'm doing right now. I got a steady 9-to-5 job, and it's crazy. It's such an amazing feeling to be at that 9-to-5 job, and what I'm thinking about while I'm at this job. Obviously, when I'm in the tasks, I'm thinking about what I got to do, but. You know, I can't help myself when I'm having conversations with people, or if they're talking to somebody else and I'm kind of just in the area. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about the things that I can do to bring this show to the next level. I'm thinking about how I need direction personally because, you know, I feel like I have kind of this a natural talent for understanding what it takes to get somebody's attention. This is just something that I've noticed in myself. This is something that other people have noticed in myself. This is what has led me to picking this career path, and this will be my career. Mark my words. This is something that I'm going to be working on for the next 10 years, and it's going to be incredible to see where I'm going to be in the next 10 years. But I'm so motivated to get this done. I haven't been consistent as of late, but you know, seeing people like Pat McAfee, and he said something last week, you know, and he's probably been reflecting on his situation he's got going on right now. Because while he was saying this, we didn't know he was doing this behind the scenes, but he's getting this deal done with FanDuel, this very lucrative, life-changing deal with FanDuel based on a sports show that he does on YouTube, an amazing live show. That's a very inspirational show that Pat McAfee puts together. If you don't know who Pat McAfee is, Pat McAfee was at the time the best punter in the league when he was in the league. He was on the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. Let me look up his career right now so I can tell you what years he was playing for the Colts. He was their punter. He kicked a few field goals, I believe. And he was the best of the best at the time. Pat McAfee. Let me see. Pat McAfee played for the Colts from 2009 to 2016. And during that time, I know he signed a franchise tag for a couple million, and that was a great payday for him. He was an All-Pro once. He went to the Pro Bowl twice, All Pro once, and he was the best of the best at the time. He also was on track of being the best punter of all time. But if you were watching Pat McAfee today, he really explained what really went down when he was doing football. He had a little segment going over kind of the history of himself and what brought him here, what he did to bring this team together, the chances that he took in order to seek fulfillment, true fulfillment in today's day and age where you can make money doing the things that you love. He said, listen, I don't feel appreciated here at the Colts. I don't feel like the people around me are putting in the type of work that I'm putting in, and while I'm putting in this work, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to put this work in anymore. And that's what he said. That's what he really brought it down to. And that's what made him come to the decision of leaving the NFL and pursuing his own career. And then from there, I believe he moved on to Barstool Sports. You know, Pat McAfee has had a lot of head starts in a lot of the things that he wanted to do. In life in general, he was fortunate enough to be in the NFL, and he took advantage of that. He took advantage of his time in the NFL. You know, that really sets people apart. You got to take advantages of the whatever's presented to you, grab it and run with it. You never know when you're going to get it again. You could never get it again. That could be your one chance. Hop on top of that. Pause. Hop on top of that. And grab the bull by the horns and get to work. And that's the message that Pat McAfee's really putting out there. He took the chances and he trusted himself. Before I started this, I was saying that this podcast. I was saying for a really long time that I wanted to start a podcast. I was saying how much faith I have in the internet and then building a brand online and an audience and having an audience that's willing to come back every week, every month, whatever it is, and support you. You can make a living doing the things that you love doing. And Pat McAfee he exemplifies that. He went out there and he got it. And that's what you have to do. And I'm telling you this because I want to see you win. I've been having so many conversations recently where I ask people, do you have any plans on the horizon? Is there something better that you want to do with your life or that you'd rather be doing than what you're doing right now? Because I'm doing what I want to do. And I don't have anybody listening to this right now. I got family and friends. And if you're listening to this right now, I don't want you to think that I see you as nobody. And I don't want you to think that I don't value your view. I got like 6 views a video or two, 3. Those are awesome views. And most of those people I know. It's only every now and then I get somebody out from the outside. But when I'm not doing this, I'm thinking about branding. I'm thinking about how I can take this to the next step, how I can use social media to further my platform. I'm thinking about how happy I am doing the things that I truly want to do. It's an opportunity that's unprecedented in the history of humanity. We've never had something like this, a unifying force. The internet's not a unifying force. I don't even know why I said that. There's no place that people get more divided than on damn Twitter, on Instagram, on all of these social media platforms. But what this platform does is it takes the power and it puts it back in the hands of the people. There's a lot of people that go. I see this a lot. First off, I don't have a lot of faith in the current college system for a lot of careers that people are going for. I feel like all the information is online. I feel like college is way more worth it for networking. And if you're going to college, you got to network the fuck out of yourself, man. Just get it done. You got to be out there. You got to be an inviting guy. You got to make friends. Because those are the people that you're going to college with that are hungry, and I could bet a lot of money that a lot of those people that are truly hungry are going to leave college before they're even done with it, and they're going to start something, or they're going to start something while in college, and it's gonna start to blow up, and they're going to be like, hey, bro, we had great conversations. I like where you're headed. You already have some training in this. Hey, do you mind hopping on my team? Let's get this done. And as of right now, I'm working with my girlfriend right now. She's going to college for filming, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of some meant to be type stuff going on right now. I told her this is another thing you got to do with yourself. You got to understand your limits. You got to understand where you are. For a long time, I was kind of conflicted because I've understood that I'm somebody that needs direction. I really enjoy what I'm doing, and when I'm going to work, I'm going to give you a good product. I'm going to put a good product out there to the furthest extent that I can give you a good product, because that's just me. In whatever work I'm doing, like the job that I have now is clearly not the job that I have ambitions for in the future, but I'm going to give my boss a good product. That's the person that I am. Now, I'm also the type of person that did not clean my room for a whole damn week because I'm putting it off. I'm the type of person that did not record a video for a whole damn week, even though I set up an upload schedule for Tuesday and Friday, because that's just who I am. And that's one of those things that I was at conflict with myself, because I also have I have a lot of ambition for creating my own business. And if you want to create your own business, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of responsibility. I can handle doing a lot of work because, at the end of the day, you just got to put your head down and get it done, and I do that a lot with hard labor. I've worked dishwashing jobs, the job that I'm working at currently. There's some days you just got to put your head down and grind. Now, how much does that translate to podcasting, social media and all that stuff? I think it translates well. When I really put my head down and work, like for this episode, I was able to really plan out this episode and talk about the things that I wanted to talk about. My least planned out portion was this portion with Pat McAfee, because this is more of a passion type of portion. But I've recognized in myself that I need direction. If you're a damn CEO of a company, you are the direction. And I was going through it in my mind, juggling it there, and I was like, God, am I really built for this? Am I really built for this? And time will truly tell if I'm built for this. But what I was able to do recently was I was able to really understand my limitations and understand that I need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to look within yourself and acknowledge the fact that you need help. And I need help, and my girlfriend wants to be a producer. I get together with her and I say, listen, I need direction. This is what you want to do. Let's do it. And I'm hoping that we see, I'm not hoping, we're going to see big changes with this channel. I have another channel idea in the works. Hopefully I can get that started soon. It's not sports related. It's probably going to be its own separate channel. I hope I can get it done. It's way more of a passion project. I'll talk about it when it gets closer to being real. But I'm hoping to be on a 3-video upload schedule, and the third video being that other passion project that I will. There will be more details on the more real it becomes. There will be more details on that. But there's gonna be changes. And I've acknowledged that in order to get somewhere like Pat McAfee has gotten to, this is a business. If you want to become profitable, this is a business. You got to show up every day just like you show up to work. There is no slacking off in this business. You slack off, somebody hungry is going to take your spot. And that's with any business. That's with any business, really. But it's really cutthroat here online. There's only so many eyes. There's only so many time slots for people to start watching your stuff. And if you really start letting off, I definitely have aspirations for a live show one day. And the live show is 100% a model where if you start letting off, somebody else in that bracket that you're commentating within, somebody else who's hungry is going to take your damn spot. And that's how it works. And that's the competitiveness of the free market. Of YouTube, of this whole gold rush that we're seeing. Gold rush is something that Pat McAfee has described. These internet ventures, the internet opportunities that's out there. That's how he described it, and that's truly what it is. It's the gold rush without a lot of the death, the famine, and the Mexican standoffs, and this town ain't big enough for the two of us. It's the gold rush without all that stuff. There's a lot of innovation happening, and it's up to you to utilize what's ahead of you, what's in front of you, the social media apps, the everything. The reps. It's going to take reps to become a better broadcaster, a better vlogger, or whatever it is you want to do. It's going to take a hell of a lot of reps, and I tell everybody around me, I could be doing this for 10 years, no following, doesn't matter. As long as you grind and you stay true to yourself, you're going to catch an audience. The audience is going to appreciate the stuff that you do, and as long as you appreciate the audience for allowing you the freedom to do this stuff, you can do whatever you want. This is the new age where we can mold the world and we can mold our careers around a platform online. And it's, I truly feel like if you're living right now and you're not taking advantage of it, you're missing out. And God only knows how long this window of opportunity is going to be open. Like I said, if you got chances ahead of you, man, If there's a chance and you don't take it, you're the only person you're letting down is yourself. And this comes from a guy that's definitely not taking advantage of his fair share of chances. And I'm just doing my best to grab onto whatever I can right now. And I'm not going to let go. I'm going to hold on and I'm going to keep going. Cuz like I said, when I'm, it's a different thing. I like to talk about mental health. Before, my head used to be filled with, really bad stuff. Really bad stuff, and I'm sure that a lot of people are dealing with to this day. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there that are dealing with that. And to those people, I want to say this: I used to, when other people were talking, the things that I were thinking about were terrible, terrible things, and it was really counterproductive stuff. Now when I can get emotional when I think about it, but because now when I'm in those moments, what I'm thinking about is my passion. And that's a life that I want for everybody. And that's a life that I believe that you could attain. And it takes you being in the lane that you can carve out for yourself and staying genuine and not stopping. And I have faith that whoever you are, you're listening to this, you could be lost right now, you could be depressed right now, you could be all sorts of things. There's a better you out there. And every day you're either fighting to be the version of yourself that allows all the bad things in you to take over and really pile up, and then you end up being the version of yourself that allows failure, or you're fighting to be the version of yourself, the ultimate version of yourself out there that doesn't allow these bad habits to take over, that takes advantage of the opportunities that are ahead of him, in front of him, and they hit the ground running. That's the version of you that I want to see every single one of you obtaining. That's the version of Pat McAfee that Pat McAfee is chasing right now. Chase fulfillment, guys. That's the end game. Happiness is the end game. Above everything. If this doesn't bring me great amounts of wealth, if this career doesn't bring me great amounts of wealth, but it allows me to have a middle-class family, a middle-class home, still doing the things that I want to do, then I've won at life. I guarantee you that I've won at life. And I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy human being. And I have a beautiful life, and I have tons of life lessons that I can give to my children on the things that you should really be doing in your life. And if you're out there, if you're listening, you can do it. Just like Pat McAfee, he took advantage of the things that he could take advantage of, and I hope you can too. And I know you can. I know you can. It takes you putting your mind to it. I only wish the best for you guys out there, and I want to see everybody winning. And you can. And it's awesome. It's awesome to see Pat McAfee win. Congratulations, Pat McAfee. Congratulations to Pat McAfee's team, Foxy. I only know Foxy offhand. I know their faces. I have to watch way more in order to really grasp their names. I know his brother's on there. It looks like a great family of people. I'm happy to see them get their money. I want to see you get your money, and I want to see me get their money. And it takes a lot of hard work. It takes persistence, but I'll get there. You'll get there. Pat McAfee's well on his way. And that's the end of the episode, son. I hope you're all having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. Have it, make an awesome day. There's a portion of it that there's a portion of that day that you can take responsibility for. It's up to you. Some of it, a lot of it's your perception when it comes down to having a shitty day or having a happy day. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it truly is. It's not easy. That when I say that, it's not to say that it's easy. It's hard to shift your mind if you really are in a deep space. But there's a better you. There's a better version of you out there. Even if you are being successful right now, there's still a better version of you to chase. Most likely, there always is. There's always somewhere for you to improve. And I encourage you to do it, and I encourage you to have a beautiful, beautiful morning, beautiful night, beautiful midday, whenever you're listening to this. thank you truly for listening, and I'll be back. Hopefully, I should be set up with the upload schedule soon, and peace out, guys. Thank you for listening. Have an awesome time.